Hey, it's Colleen, and welcome to Tough Talk and Transitions. Listen, today I'm kind of like been getting a lot of feeding. Not a lot of feeding, but a lot of info from different people on their 18 to 25-year-old sons that are in this whole Manosphere, podcast, Joe Rogan. I don't even know these guys because I don't follow them. I'm not a mother. I don't have sons. But the feedback has been pretty horrifying that these kids really have a problem. They're angry. They're anti-Semites, even when they're Jewish. I don't think they understand what that means. They're anti-female. They're getting screwed. And you know what? And they're right. They're getting screwed, but they're getting screwed by the same people that they're listening to. Joe Rogan's got $300 million. Do you think he's actually really going to suffer through what you're going to suffer through? Do you think his kid's going to sign up for the draft in December? People are, it's just absolutely beyond nuts. And they're unable, of course, I think it's that they can't hook up with a chick. Then none of them know how to be with a woman. And I think a lot of the young girls right now are clear that they don't need to deal with that attitude. So you got them coming from an attitude of, I don't even know if it's 1950s, right? And then you got these girls that are very much 2025, 2026, saying like, not touching that. So I don't know if they're pent up sexually, which I would say is probably 99% of it. They don't know how to be with a woman. They don't know how to talk to a woman. They don't know how to have sex. They don't know how to get laid. They don't even know how to have a conversation with a woman. The only woman in their life is probably their mother or their sisters, and I don't even know if that relationship says enough for how they look at women. But they listen to this manosphere and, this toxic male culture that they're all embracing. And I don't know, like I turned 66 last week, right? I mean, we didn't exactly have men were men, but were they? There were still some idiots. Of course, there's always going to be idiots, right? But there were those that had their issues that couldn't step up and couldn't be real men. And by real men, I mean like real men, real women, right? Taking responsibility for who you are, being true to who you are, being in a relationship and being honest. And I'll tell you, I sucked at it for a really long time. So I know what I'm talking about because I was really bad. I think, but for me, it was always about wanting to be independent, never wanting to be told what to do. And I get that. And I can see where probably some of these guys feel the same way. But yet I don't. They're angry, really angry. And they're buying in to this whole toxic male masculinity that, I'm going to be a dick and I'm going to talk down to women and I'm not going to like anybody that's black, brown, Jewish, or different than I am. And that's going to make me cool. And I'm thinking, not so much. And then, of course, there are the ones that have kids by everybody and don't support them. Hey, not my problem, you got pregnant. But I think that's kind of been a persistent theme, right? Through all the years. Not my fault if you get pregnant. Your fault if you get pregnant. Except that thanks to Trump and the Republicans, you're kind of stuck with that kid and nobody wants to help you out with that kid. So, I don't know. I don't know what happens. I don't know who offsets this whole toxic male masculinity, bro culture, manosphere culture. Me personally, I think the worst thing that happened was Joe Rogan. Well, I think actually the worst thing that happened was Fox News, but thanks to Ronald Reagan and Rupert Murdoch, right? That would probably have been the worst immigration decision ever. And this dude with his New York Post and now the Wall Street Journal and everything else the piece of shit owns, including Fox News. They're all toxic men, right? Does anybody look at Sean Hannity and think, well, he's a man, I want my kid to emulate him? Or even worse, Jesse Waters, whatever the hell his name is. I don't watch him. But what I've seen is less than impressive. Of course, these are just my opinions. But, talk about toxic male. That dude. I don't know. Do you just wake up one morning and decide you're just going to be a giant dick and just say, like, today I'm just a dick and I'm going to hate everybody, I guess. I don't know. I work with a couple of toxic men too, and I think that that's part of their Hispanic culture. But of course, I'm not going to take their shit. I just think it's interesting that, you know, that it's cultural, right? I don't know. I don't know. I look at this toxic male and I look at Trump and I look at Mike, Moses Mike Johnson, Grinder Mike Johnson. I mean, little twerpy Mike Johnson. Who the hell wanted to look at him and said, yeah, I want to have sex with that and I want to have a kid with that? I don't know. You need to have your head examined. In my opinion. But